January 2, 2025. Gary Marcus outdated 2025, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 by Durango, Dank, Genai Authority, Google. He has to ask his IT people what this means. Does he see this on his dashboard? Because if you wouldn't see this, you wouldn't know that I'd be missing from his conversation. And all of his new uploads to Gary Marcus on X. And all of his AI predictions and his previous, here's one. AI prediction for 225, Gary Marcus. Look what's missing. And when he talks about Google, like Google Search Now integrates AI, how does he know this? What's his sources? Is it the emails that I send to him that he ignores me with? See, this was the next step. It's me taking him to court and pulling all his content off out of the cloud. See, Les Wong, 2024 and all AI predictions. See, they still pushed Gary, the pessimist, the sarcasm. How far, if the whole entire community was sarcastic, part of the skepticism society, we're skeptics of everything, nothing was good, everything's bad, nothing can work. How the fuck? You know who's the only guy making money doing that? Him and the people that talk about him. That's it. While Cursor, look it up, Cursor just raised $100 million, AI app. $100 million, bringing it up to a $2.6 billion pre-evaluation. This stuff's real, folks. And Gary and all the identifiers that talk about shit that they shouldn't even be talking about with the wrong people, they're going to be allowed to do this. See, when I go on another computer, I don't see this shit. That's why it's missing. Bam. So every time he talks, so that's the end of the story right there, right? So I'm not supposed to see my content here. Images. So here's Gary. Look at, here's one. Draw an image representing Gary looking into a crystal ball predicting AGI will not arrive in 2025. So he's saying that AGI, to me, AGI is artificial Google intelligence. So when he throws these words around, and look at, I own googlecrystalball.com. I have pictures of the sphere and all this. So what Gary does is he goes after other content that he knows people are writing about him because he trolls himself. Look at this picture of him, Gary Marcus. This is the first time he's ever done this. Gary, I'll tell you what, dude, for being a PhD, you're a real greaseball, dude. Just look at your hair. Like, what the, who does your hair, bro? But this right here, a picture of Gary Marcus. That ain't Gary Marcus. And they got the crystal balls. Hey, Gary, how do you beat googlecrystalball.com? Third-party app. wizardknowsalltellsall.com. Gary, everything that you speak, you haven't even seen it, bro. I've been nice. But this is the predictions that we need. And then we'll go into videos. You want to see what it really looks like? Bam. The challenge is AI capabilities with Gary Marcus. In the last 5 years, okay, see this picture right here of him drinking out of his cup? You know that microphone right there? We call that a dick, D-I-C. And anybody that, I've been doing radio since 2020. No, wait. God, has it been that long? When 9/11 happened. Wow. Yeah, it's been that long. Wow. Time is wow. Anyway, so what professionals in the radio business, you avoided drinking anything on air. You know, it was just a sign of disrespect. You avoided pictures with the dick in your face, DIC, you know, so people can spin this what they want, but just those three things, his hair, you know, looked like he just crawled out of bed. Oh, he's got to drink his coffee. These things these are what sloppy guys do. He's sloppy. He went before Senate. He was sloppy. He didn't even have enough money to go buy himself a shirt to fit his 21-inch neck of fat. I don't know what it is. I'm just saying. There's a reason why he didn't do his tie. And these are the things that AI picked out for me. That's why I say it. It sounds like I'm trying to pick on the guy, but I'm not. This is AI. And this is what AI does, because when he starts mentioning dates before he's supposed to mention them, other people have mentioned them as well. But in a way to where, like, if I was in the HR department, look at that, folks. I mean, this is long version. I own everything in that. I have owned all this content for quite some time, and content I haven't even published. So it goes down to what is, like, read this thing. Artificial intelligence has exploded, but there are a lot of holes in it and how it works. What is it, and is not capable of? Blah. Okay? So you got Gary. Hey, look at Gary. Oh, but that's not what you're getting. That's what you're getting. 2012 rise of Gary Marcus, outdated 2024 Marcus Giovanni. But this is Durango Dank. Why the collapse of generative AI is all in Gary's little brain. Gary Marcus verified outdated by Marcus Giovanni. See, Durango Dank was created by Marcus Giovanni. It's an avatar, brand avatar. Someone else will fill his spot and sing forever, and they'll just keep changing them out. But this is what Gary's future looks like. So when all his people, they all start mentioning crystal ball, and they all go to googlecrystalball.com. So Gary thinks he's fooling everybody, and then at the end, this time next year, he has no clue, but I could show him his future if he wants to look into my crystal ball. I guarantee you, Gary, mine's way more powerful than anything you have tricksters up your sleeve. You know what I mean? I run into guys like you all the time, but there's help for you. You can be more. You can't be, because you're a skeptic. That's your job. Understand that. But you're an outdated skeptic. If you're a PhD in what we do, deep mind and all that, if you can even find it being taught, it is being taught, but it's not in any university. No, these people are stealing all the stuff that IBM and Google and all these hard-working people put together, and then they build their own systems. They want to do better and bigger, and then they realize that they don't have enough storage, and then they have to go buy storage somewhere, and they can't get it any cheaper than getting it from Google. So now they're using Google apps for Google, and Google lets them go ahead, man. It's free world. Go take our ideas and go do. We're not going to fight you because we ain't you. And that's how that works. So every time Gary Marcus speaks, every time he talks about being the man, he's not. And when you think of Cursor, and that they just raised $100 million off some brilliant young men and women, knowing that Genai can't be stopped. Genai is the gatekeeper of the critical paths that Gary calls visions. And see, Gary's all about not bringing everybody to the table to talk. And he just destroys. And we can't have that anymore. So Gary, pick up the phone. Don't be a knucklehead, all right? We've seen enough of that in 2024. But if you persist to play your games that you're doing, which is, you don't understand that the group we're working with, every time your name is mentioned in any article, we know. And this is what's going to happen. So whenever you keep talking about the predictions of 225, and yet Cursor, AI Cursor, just raised $100 million to $2.6 billion, I think, pre-evaluation. Folks, that ain't a bubble, that's a pop. That's not a bubble. That's an industry. And if you keep listening to guys like Gary, you're going to miss the investment boats that are arriving at a metaverse near you. And the metaverse ain't just virtual glasses and all this stuff that these young 28 and 38-year-olds came out with, because when they were 20 years ago, when we had the 2007 and 8, it was longer than how long ago? 7, 8, 9. Remember those, that financial disaster when everybody, we were just getting everything with open AI and meeting people. I had, my list was so long of all these people that we searched out as the top voices, and those voices aren't there. They've been replaced by young voices. And so, and what happens is these young voices didn't do their homework. So they started all mentioning, oh, we're AI and storytelling collide, and they use all these words that were used before by other people, that because they have kept their website going, they kept their conversation, it kept going. There was something that kept them connected to the storyline without really having any content, because back then 2000, 18 years ago, um, things were way different. A lot of Google Plus closes. Um, a lot of things were gonna be shut down and re-released, and all the changes and all the information that we've lost and gained. And wow, it's been a wonderful journey. And I learned this all from Google. I'm a Google learner. And so Gary's got to realize that we can't have overbearing, pessimistic soothsayers of destruction in the way he communicates. Typhoid mayor, AI's typhoid mayor. It's old alien. See, he's like the preachers, like Joel Osteen. Okay, guy lives in a $10 million mansion. His whole family driving bitchin' cars because God gave it to him. God knew that he was a special man, that he could go into his people and get them to give him and his family all their money in the name of God and go into heaven. If you just believe in him, Lord, he will show you the way. As long as you got a Visa card or MasterCard, or we'll even take that cash if you want to come and drop it off. And if your kids need shoes, you got to go somewhere else, because this money is for me and my family. I mean, this stuff ain't going to work no more, folks. The computer God is born. It was born in 1955. And then Black Sabbath wrote a song in 1992. We had other people writing stuff about the M5 computer, Star Trek. Captain Kirk took it out. It was going to destroy mankind. Go look at that. There was some people that were sending messages of what was to come, to get us all ready for what is here. Dragnet, voice latent print, The Squeeze. Go look at that movie. I would have no idea how real that movie was in my life. But those are the things that triggered me to be where I'm at, to even remember these things. So I come from a higher source, whether anybody wants to believe it or not. And when I die off, then someone else will replace it. But you can't get really much higher than the people, me and above, and the people I learned it to, and the ones that don't want to tell anybody what's coming because we wouldn't be able to handle the truth. And the more and more that the ancient astronaut theorists want us to expose ET and all this stuff, they don't realize that when they look at all those civilizations, five extinctions, and you look at the only things that were left over were big temples and things that had pictures of Martians and other kind of creatures from space that we keep talking about and not realizing that when they come down, it's not going to be a pretty sight, folks. And I know that sounds very, but just open your eyes and think common sense, and you'll know exactly what is in store for our civilization. And I'm going to be 65 years old in June. And I never seen a group of people in my entire fucking life lie to me more than the people that are supposed to have loved me, cared for me, and going through all the schools and all that, and going up through life and dealing with the FBI and all these law enforcement people, and realizing that there's a God. And he's about to unleash his power on these people that have been suppressing America and the rest of the world for a very long time. And if they think they're going to destroy America or destroy any other country or any of this, or all their weapons are going to kill everybody, and it's not going to happen. And when people say, hey, you need to worry about AI, what they're not telling you about is where they'll turn on you. So if you're going to go diabolically wipe out a whole civilization, AI's got the capability of being able to understand this. Believe it or not, Gary, they don't tell you everything. And that's what Gary Marcus thinks he knows everything. He mimics and mocks other people. Like the crystal ball. How do you get away from that? So I just consider what the kind of guy he is by the images he has of himself in key situations where he looks like a slob. You know, even Fetterman, is that his name? The guy who doesn't have to wear a suit. They changed that law. No, you can come in smelling like anything you want. We don't care anymore. Our house is open to everybody. Okay? If you want to come in and destroy it and breach our fences and destroy our walls and smash our windows, then you're able to. We're not going to put up any barriers. We're not going to do anything to protect it because this is your house. Do with it as you will. Well, Mike Johnston's trying to make that the same way with Denver. And people don't realize that this is going to be a crazy scene in Denver. And I think Mike Johnston and them are getting ready to battle. Because this is Mike Johnston's biggest uh, uh, gaslighting show of all lit shows, man. He's gaslighting everybody, and yet everybody knows but him and the few people that support his mayhem and all the different companies that come out and support his insurrection. And they can say, oh, well, President Trump did it, and that's what they're getting ready to do. But see, it's this content that is now in 2025 still the same bullshit we see on CNN and Fox News and all these other people turning that wheel. And so what happens is that wheel's got to break. It's got to be destroyed, and AI is going to do it. And I can tell you exactly how. But I created platforms for the City and County of Denver, like City and County of Denver LLC, along with 15 other platforms that will create residual income that will create hundreds of millions of dollars. So when Mike Johnston secretly passes, or they pass when they couldn't pass R2R, and I voted for that, folks. I voted for it because I knew the importance of what that money really mean, whether they were telling you the truth or what he thought. It needed to be done. It needed to be done, and I voted for it. When nobody passed it, I voted for it. Not because of his stupid antics and everything, but because of the financial situation he put Denver in as a superhero, as a AI guy, and all this bullshit that he, just like Gary Marcus, uses other people content to bullshit the people that he's in, so they all look at me as I'm the enemy. Well, AI knows, and it's using all of our voices to index us. And so, Gary Marcus, you welcome to my metaverse. And stop taking pictures of yourself. Stop repeating the same words. You're outdated, fella. And the only way to get outdated is to raise your knowledge bar. And the more you fight it, and the more you get other people and circumvent whatever you want, because it's your First Amendment right, my brother, and I'll support that just like I'm doing now. But it's going to the dark web through the wormhole. And the wormhole is a algorithm I developed a long time ago that creates a pathway to dark web or to IoT. It's that simple. You have a good day, fella.